Nyssa sat on the edge of the hard wooden pew as the boys in the choir robes filed in. Heat rose off the packed parishioners, and sweat beaded on the back of her neck. A tall man settled in the pew before her, and she leaned to one side to scan the choir. Her 8-year-old cousin's dusty brown hair stood out in the line of mostly dark-haired San Azulan students, but even without that, she could have spied Theo's grin from a mile away. She bit her bottom lip. Oh, dear Lord, please don't let him forget the words. His wheelchair positioned in the aisle, Ellis reached over and slipped his fingers around hers. "He's going to be fine," he whispered. "You can stop having sympathetic stage fright." She blushed, but forced herself to relax. The pianist commenced the first carol, and the children on the stage sang out the first perfect note. After an adorable rendition of the Cradle Hymn, the group shifted, allowing Theo to shuffle to the front. His eyes searched the audience, his lips quirking down. Nyssa hazarded a wave. His smile returned, and his solo soared above the rustle of the crowd fidgeting in their seats. "What child is this who laid to rest in Mary's lap is sleeping?" Something in Nyssa melted. After the first verse, the choir joined in. Ellis drew close enough for his warm breath to tickle her ear. "See? He did great." She nodded, unable for a moment to do more. After the concert, the boys dispersed into the audience to find their parents. Theo threw his arms around Nyssa's waist. "Did you like it? Did you hear me okay?" "Loud and clear." She ruffled his hair. Ellis chuckled. "You're a natural troubadour." A few people cast the little group sideways glances. Nyssa pretended not to notice. At 17 and 20, she and Ellis were at least 10 years younger than the majority of parents. Nyssa and Ellis had come to San Azula under the married aliases of Mr. and Mrs. Cormack, and only a few people, such as their housekeeper and Nyssa's one friend on the island, Amara, knew their true names. Still, no one had questioned their charade since she'd enrolled Theo at the church's school, and the boy was thriving. She couldn't ask for more. "Hurry and change," she said. "It's already getting dark, and I want to be home in time for dinner. Mrs. H said she'd cook something extra special in honor of your debut." "Bully!" Theo burst out. He darted through the crowd, but somehow managed not to jostle anyone, a skill he'd perfected during his days as a pickpocket. "Bully?" Nyssa raised an eyebrow. "What does that even mean?" "Kids these days and their slang," Ellis smirked. "Let's hope he hurries. I'm starving." She gazed down into his dark eyes, and a pleasant shiver cut through her. Maybe the Mr. and Mrs. part wouldn't always be a lie. When Theo returned, they followed the exiting crowd onto the cobblestone streets. Most of the families headed towards the steam trolley stop. "I wish the steam trolleys would add ramps," Nyssa frowned. "The fresh air will do us good." Ellis wheeled down the wooden sidewalk. The church was only about a 20-minute walk from the building that served as both their home and place of business. Officially, they sold and repaired pen telegraphs, radios, and videophones. But Ellis was also an inventor of some skill, always tinkering on something, such as his self-propelled wheelchair. Palm trees waved over the white stucco houses. The evening air had cooled slightly from the balmy weather of that afternoon, but it still didn't feel like winter. If we were back in New Torrid, it would probably be snowing by now. I can't believe I actually miss the cold. Candles flickered in many windows, and red ribbons spangled the gas lamps along the street. Steam cars rattled past, disrupting the calm. Nyssa wrinkled her nose. Back in New Torrid, she'd never minded the things, as loud and disruptive as they could be, but here in the paradise of San Azula, they seemed out of place. She concentrated on the click of her high-heeled boots against the cobblestones and the pleasant tickle of the breeze against her skin. Theo skipped along beside them. "I bet you're looking forward to having the next few weeks off school," Ellis said. "Yeah. Will I be able to help you around the shop?" Theo asked. "Sure. But it won't just be work. It's the holidays, after all. Time for some fun." Stars blossomed one by one in the deep blue above. Nyssa placed her hand on Ellis's shoulder. Soon, the brick storefront with its shuttered windows loomed before them. Nyssa unlocked the door. "Why don't you go tell Mrs. H about the concert?" she suggested to Theo.